Hi everybody, this is Mike Broadwater, the Superintendent of Loveland City School District. This video is going out to all of our parents on this Friday, which is August 6th. And I just wanted to say how appreciative I am of everybody making me feel so welcome as I start my first official week here in Loveland City School District. We've had many great activities. Although I started this week, the last couple months I've been able to meet with many community members, community groups. I've been out to see our boosters. I was actually able to throw out the first pitch at a Reds game. And it was very exciting to see our show choir out there as well. And Loveland just has so many great things going on in the community and our school district. I'm excited to be here. I thought it was important that I get this message out at the end of my first week so that you know you have a superintendent in the office who is excited to be here, excited to meet our kids, excited to meet our staff. And I'm just ready to get started with the 2021-2022 school year. And I know we've got some issues that we've got to work through in this video. Hopefully I can provide a few answers of where we are in terms of the thinking at the beginning of the school year, and also in closing kind of some ideas of how you can help us. So with that, I am going to go ahead and move into another topic, which I think everybody is interested in, which is the resolution and where are we with masking and our policy. So I will read off the resolution that was passed on June 3rd of 2021, which says that in part, unless required by additional mandates, the decision to wear face coverings and masks on school buses in school buildings or at other school events will be left to adult individuals and parents and guardians of our K through 12 students. So again, that is the resolution that we have in place currently, which means right now it is parent choice for our students if they are going to wear masks or not wear masks per the resolution that was passed this past June. In addition, based on that, I would like to go over the new rules that we have for quarantining so that our families can make the best decision for their own families and their own students. And that is where we are with parent choice at this time. So I will give you a little bit of background. I know it's difficult when you don't get information quickly and school is going to be starting soon. I received an update on the quarantine rules on Wednesday from Hamilton County Health Department. We were prepared to put a statement out at that time, and then yesterday around 5 p.m., the Ohio Department of Health gave us different direction in terms of quarantining rules. And then this morning, I met with Hamilton County Health Department with area superintendents, and Hamilton County is now going to shift to the Ohio Department of Health. So I say that so that you understand that things are very fluid right now. We want to be able to adapt and pivot, but I also want to tell you where we stand right now and kind of give you the rules for the quarantine that the Ohio Department of Health established. These are not Loveland City School District quarantine guidelines and rules. These are straight from the Ohio Department of Health and the Hamilton County Public Health. So to summarize, and you will see the chart up on the screen, if there is universal masking throughout the entire district, individuals can safely remain in the normal in-person classroom setting and participate in extracurricular and sport activities as long as they have no symptoms. So if you look at the large rectangular box at the top of the diagram, it kind of gives you a decision framework. If there is universal masking, what that means is the only student or staff that would be quarantining would be the positive. Now, if you go to where we currently are with our policy, which says, no, we do not have universal masking, the first condition is the contact vaccinated. So there is a positive, and there is another student or staff member that is 3 feet or outside of that. And that's another part of this new guidance, is it's now 3 feet versus 6 feet, which makes it a little bit less stringent. Okay, but the contact, if the contact is vaccinated, you can follow the arrow where it says yes. The contact will wear a mask indoors as much as possible, either for 14 days or until they receive a negative viral test performed 3 to 5 days after exposure. Vaccinated individuals can remain in the normal in-person classroom setting and participate in extracurricular and sport activities as long as they have no symptoms. And then obviously if they test positive, they will quarantine. Now, if the student or the staff member is not vaccinated and they are a close contact, the next question on the framework is, do they consistently wear a mask? If they wear a mask, you can follow the yes blue arrow there. They will be recommended to wear a mask indoors as much as possible, either for 14 days or until 7 days if they receive a negative viral test, that's the PCR test, performed at least 5 days after exposure. They can remain in class and participate in activities as long as they have no symptoms. And again, if they show symptoms, obviously they will be quarantined. The last condition is if neither of the first two met. If the student or staff member is not vaccinated, if they were not wearing a mask, then the contact will be recommended to follow normal quarantine procedures as outlined below. So what I would like to do is summarize what this really means when you talk about parent choice, as the policy is right now. If your parent choice is to have your student vaccinated, if they're old enough to be vaccinated, you are guaranteed that if, as long as your student is outside of 3 feet, that they will not have to quarantine. So again, the vaccination is the first gatekeeper in terms of quarantine. Next, if your student is wearing a mask, and they are near a positive, they will not have to be quarantined unless, of course, they test positive. So if neither of those true, if you send your student to school without a mask, there is the possibility that they will have to quarantine, and that is where we lie with parent choice. It is a parent's choice to have the student vaccinated, to have the student wear a mask or not wear a mask with the parent choice, and therefore, hopefully that explains what the quarantine rules are for our families moving forward into this school year. Next, discussing our mitigation efforts as we move into this school year. We are going to continue with physical distancing, 3 feet when feasible, assigned seating, hand washing, sanitizing, cleaning, disinfecting. We have to continue the contact tracing. If there is a positive, we are going to continue the weekly data dashboard, and it will be shared. This is beyond the requirements. Last year it was a requirement. This year it is not, but we think it's important that we have that out on our website so our public can see exactly what's going on in our buildings. Also, the masks are going to be required on the buses until September 13th. That is a federal mandate that every school is following. And therefore, after September 13th, it is either going to be extended or it will end, and then it'll become parent choice in terms of wearing the mask, depending on where we are as a district moving forward. Lastly, I would say self-assess your child. Make sure if they're not feeling well, if they have a fever, runny nose, whatever it may be, make sure you keep them at home, assess them, make sure that we don't have spread as we move into the next school year. And the other issue with vaccination status is only going to be used for contact tracing and quarantine. We encourage all of our parents and families who have 12-year-old students and older to get your student vaccinated, which will help with the spread, will help with the quarantine, but ultimately we know that is a family decision as we move forward. And that is the same with masking. We strongly recommend that our students wear masks. At this point, with the policy that we have, that is a parent choice, understanding hopefully the quarantine rules that we went over prior. So in closing, I would like to say there will be a board discussion on Tuesday evening. It's a work session, so there is no public participation. Historically, the public participation is not a part of the work session. It's part of the business session, which is at the end of the month. But that does not mean we don't want to hear from you. I've received many emails, many phone calls. I encourage you to continue to do that. Make sure that we are hearing what your concerns are. Email myself, the board, and let us know as we move into the discussion on Tuesday night. And I encourage you to tune in as you listen to our discussion. So with that, I know we've got some things to figure out before the start of the school year. I'm excited to get started. I'm excited to see our students. I know we're going to see them face to face in our buildings, and I'm excited about that. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for everybody being so gracious as I've moved into Loveland, and my first week has been a very, very active one, but very enjoyable in meeting all of the individuals that I have. So with that, go Tigers, and have a great day.